This programme was made with the support of the Broadcasting Authority of Ireland.
With pedals turning, the miles are burning, revealing landscapes so awe-inspiring, from the crashing ocean to the mountains climbing. Ireland is there for you and me.
I love Mayo. Mayo it covers everything you want to do. The sea, the mountains.
This little gem that we have here, you know, in the west.
Everything, lakes as well, if you're into lake fishing or anything like that. And there's everything. Everything is so close to you.
When you're on the summit of Croagh Patrick, you can see down into Clew Bay, which there are 365 islands on Clew Bay, one for every day of the year.
Clew Bay, which is supposedly has 365 islands.
The summit of Croagh Patrick.
Thank the Lord for being able to make it to the top. It's a tough old climb.
Yes, this is a really steep mountain. You can hardly stay on your feet.
But the views is spectacular.
Well, this is where St. Patrick drove all the snakes from Ireland.
We spent 40 days and 40 nights on Croagh Patrick.
This is the best that Ireland has to offer, you can see up here. It's unbelievable.
There's always something to do every day, so we're blessed, really blessed.
I'm Paul Wright and welcome to the 13th programme of On Your Bike, the series which celebrates those people and places we encounter on our cycle odyssey along Ireland's western seaboard. In our last programme we cycled from Leenane in North County Galway to Croagh Patrick in County Mayo. Now, staying with Ireland's most famous holy mountain, here's a taste of what else occurred to me on top of it.
I'm talking with a few good men here now, a few good, very brave men, there's no doubt about. Ye have actually climbed the mountain in your bare feet, am I right?
We have indeed, yeah.
And where are you from? Who am I talking to?
So I'm Keane O'Flailon, Blackrock.
Neil O'Flaherty, Galway. Mikey O'Sullivan, Glengarry.
That's fantastic, man. Well, fair dues to you. And look at men, I mean, what are you doing now, climbing up the mountain in your bare feet?
Our shoes were robbed on the way up.
I thought there was some real holy significance here, you know. But I mean,
there probably is.
In all honesty,
just a crack, like banter levels, I suppose.
And okay, how did you find the climb up anyway? You did it actually in your bare feet, did you?
Yeah, and the ugly feet there, yeah.
The women are drooling. The women are drooling.
They promised us ladies up here, and like I can't. All I can see is lads and wife beaters.
And what about yourself, Mikey? Yeah.
I just saw it as being a bit of a challenge. You know, if you want to do it right, do it barefoot.
That's fantastic. I mean, man, how did you find out about Croagh Patrick and the whole lore of doing it barefoot and all that?
Primary school, religion. It's kind of known all over the country.
So. And so you feel, I mean, what's the sense of achievement now, having got to the top of the mountain?
Just really happy it's over with. Feet aren't cold anymore, numb. I can put one of my shoes back on.
That's great. And how about yourself?
Yeah, I just did it because it's a challenge as well. Trying to make it top barefoot, it's not easy, it's hard.
We'll climb Croagh Patrick and make our penance. With joyous, happy pilgrims we'll descend.
Look, I'm here now, I'm in a hostel. I'm just after arriving in. I was out in Croagh Patrick there interviewing various people and just came in the bicycle, had the shower, down to the cafeteria here, a bite to eat. I'm talking with a lot of good people. Who might? And modest about as well. Who am I talking to?
Mark.
Rashin. June.
John.
Irene.
David.
Natalia.
I'm never going to remember all those names. But anyway, that aside, folks, what are you, hill walking down this neck of the woods or what?
Yeah, Aoife there just decided she wants to climb Croagh Patrick, so there's a whole load of us from the Donegal Canoe Club. We're down for the weekend and making a weekend of it, and the weather's been great. So it's been fantastic, hasn't it, guys? Yeah? Woohoo! Yeah!
But just, I mean, what's been the highlight for yourselves? I mean, you've climbed Croagh Patrick today, am I right? Other than June's hat now.
Thank you for my hat. Probably Molloy's last night. Yeah, really good session in there last night. Brilliant. Yeah, and with these people maybe.
And what about climbing Croagh Patrick today? What was that like? I mean, was it a hard climb or what?
I think it was steep in parts, but we had a dry day, so it wasn't too slippery, and it was very, very enjoyable.
Now, Irene, you're actually from Belfast yourself, am I right? You're Donegal connections, but living in Belfast.
That's right, yeah. Originally from County Donegal, but living in Belfast.
So how did you eventually end up with this group here now today? If you're living in Belfast, come on, spill all.
It's a long story, but I still return to Donegal quite often, and I love hill walking. So one Sunday I went out with the Donegal hill walking group, who are called the Blue Stack Ramblers, and we were walking across 3 mountains in the Blue Stacks, and I got chatting to some of the Donegal Canoe Club. So we arranged to meet up again here.
That's great, fantastic. And that's brilliant. Only the best. And just as a matter of interest, I mean, what's the next on the agenda now? Okay, you're doing, the mountains here in Mayo this weekend. I mean, is it Wicklow or where? Somebody was mentioned to me there.
We're going to Morocco next year, and we're going to...
Well, no, that hasn't been decided yet. No, we have a group consultation, we're democratic, June, I mean...
But I have to ask as well, I wouldn't be doing my journalistic duty if I didn't ask about the poker. Is there any willing volunteers now to spill the beans on the poker? It's not just about hill walking or having a good time. There's also the poker. Cathal, are you going to tell us about the poker now? You seem to be the kingpin now.
Poker player.
Oh yes, they're actually a bad influence, this bunch, because they've actually started to get me into gambling now tonight. So it was my first time to play poker tonight, Texas Hold'em. And I was losing at one stage, I have to say. I thought I was going to be down at least 20 or 30 euro, but I managed to get back to win my money back. So, so to keep away from these guys.
John, I have to ask, but this is a family programme, but I know a lot of our listeners are going to be asking, what is the secret to good Texas Hold'em poker now?
I have plenty of money. I would say.
Okay, folks, where are the credit card details? Come on. And Irene, were you playing yourself?
No, I wasn't. No, I didn't join in now this evening. I wouldn't be in their league at all now with the poker playing.
Right. So these guys are real professionals. I hear Carl is a real professional. I mean, he's very shy though, isn't he? He's very shy now.
Extremely shy. We're actually very lucky done Croagh Patrick today, because I was just outside there and I was watching the birds, and they're flying like mad tonight, the crows. Tomorrow's going to be a very stormy day, believe you me. Don't get on the bike.
I've been warned. Well, Cathal, I'll tell you now, leave your contact details, because if you're wrong now, I'll tell you, you're in trouble. I'll find out where you live, And look at folks. How many Irish people in your group now? I mean, how many Irish people? All Irish except for one woman, is it?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, who's this woman here now? She's Natalia. You're from Spain, is it?
I am, but I wish I could say I'm from Letterkenny, because I've been there since '97. But unfortunately, I will never lose my accent. So.
Well, I'm proud of it. What part of Spain are you from?
Madrid.
Right. A great city. But how did you end up in Letterkenny? Who is he?
No, just went to learn English and all that thing. I was only going to stay here for 6 months, but then I bought a washing machine and I knew that was it.
Yeah, it was the weather.
Yeah.
But so you really, really love it. Yeah, that's great.
I like Ireland, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's a big difference now from Madrid. I mean, Madrid, a city of 10 million people, am I right? And you're going to Letterkenny, which is certainly millions anyway.
It's 5 million people in Madrid, but they are all stressed out. I actually don't enjoy going there now, and I feel everybody's like running, and I just got more used to the Donegal way of doing things, except in the poker.
Carl, you have a lot to answer for, and John as well. And what is it about Donegal that you most love? I mean, I cycled Donegal myself a few years ago. It's a beautiful county.
It is a beautiful county. It is beautiful. It's no place like Donegal when it's sunny. I love it.
And obviously there's plenty of sun there as well. You know, I mean,
In Donegal, no, there is no sun at all. That's the reason I'm telling you. When the sun goes out, it's just beautiful. But where would you have beaches like they are in Donegal with no buildings at all? And they are beautiful. They are beautiful.
Fantastic, absolutely great. That's great. No, brilliant. And for yourselves, folks, you're all from Donegal yourselves, or Donegal roots. What are you most proud about your county of Donegal?
Actually, I'm not from Donegal.
Okay, well, I stuck my foot in it there, didn't I? But it was sounding good for a while. Well, where are you from yourself?
I'm from Antrim originally.
Antrim, gorgeous county as well, and fantastic. What are you most proud about Antrim?
Not the footballers, anyway. No. Oh.
This is getting dirty, eh?
I suppose, I don't know, the Glens or the hurling. Yeah, I'm quite into those kind of, yeah.
And what part of Antrim originally?
Near Lough Neagh, up near Ballymena, a small town up there. Yeah.
Of course, a lovely part of the world. And Mark, you're a born, bred and butter Donegal.
Born, bred, reared, Letterkenny, Donegal. Yeah.
What are you most proud about your own county?
It's just, as Natalia was saying, it's just such a scenic county. And I mean, if you like the outdoors life, there's just so many opportunities for kayaking and biking and running and mountain climbing. And if you like the outdoors, it's a fantastic county to live in.
And you're actually a member of the Letterkenny Canoe Club. How big is it now? What rivers would you be canoeing?
I suppose the Lennon. How many members? How many would we have? 40, 50? It's quite. But we do loads of things, like we go and do a bit of hill walking, and there'll be a few poker nights. It's as much a social club nearly at this stage as badminton. Thank you, Jean. Badminton. We do a lot of stuff, and it's fantastic. So it is.
I'm here now just adjacent to Bridge Street, beside a beautiful river here in downtown Westport, talking with a born, bred and buttered Westport man, local historian, Westport folklorist also, Paddy Guttery. Paddy, tell our listeners here about the celebrated town of Westport and where we're situated exactly at the moment.
Well, Paul, you're right here now in the hub of Westport. This is the main focal point in the town where a lot of locals will meet across from the West Bar on the Mall, on what we would know as the North Mall, and the other side of the Mall being the South Mall. And this is a place where young people would gather around. A lot of the older men of the town would meet here and discuss current events, what's happening in the town. And it's just a great panoramic view, looking down the river here and looking up the main street of the town at what we would know as the Clock, which was built in 1847. Actually, the first commemoration of John McBride in the town. That's what the Clock was built for. And at the moment, we're standing up from the statue of John McBride himself, which says a lot about the man, in our sort of dysphoria, if you like. We'd all know him or have heard of him as being one of the men that was shot in May 1916. He was born in 1865, and he was born in a place which is now called the Helm. It's a bar out at the quay, a famous bar, an eating house. But John McBride was born there, and of course we all know the story of him. He fought the Boers in South Africa, in the Transvaal.
He actually fought on the Boer side.
He did, yeah. He was basically always a thorn in the side of the British Empire. A very vocal man. He went to America raising funds. He was a member of the IRB, and he didn't think much of the British fighting man. From his experiences in Africa, he says, they were probably one of the worst organised armies in the world. But when he came back, he was sort of, how can I put it, an accidental revolutionary. He had nothing to do with the planning for 1916, for the Rising. He was actually walking by, and Thomas MacDonagh asked him to join them in Boland's Mill, or Boland's factory, during that week. And of course, once the British got hold of the news that they had McBride, they were overjoyed. So he was shot with the leaders as being one of the motivators of the revolution. But really he had nothing to do with the planning at all for Easter week, you know. But he's down here across from the church. It's an interesting spot where they have him, you know. He looks down on our christenings and on our funerals and on our weddings, you know, so we hold him in high esteem. And, you know, there's still members of his family alive to this day in the town, you know, so there's a big connection with John McBride. As a man, you know, he had a child with Maud Gonne, Sean McBride, who fought for the Republican side during the Civil War. He was also a Nobel Peace Prize winner. So we're pretty proud of that fact. Now, even though Sean was born in Paris, we would still look at him as a Covey.
You were saying the Covey, which is the term that local Westportians are called, am I right?
You're bang on, yeah. You know, there's some people that there's all these different rules about being a Covey and where it all sprung up from, and you know, we even have our own bit of lingo that we can speak among ourselves called the Covey cant, you know, and it's you know, it's nice to hear it being spoken. It's nice to hear the old lads.
Are you for real?
Oh, I'm for real, yeah.
Give us a small, give our listeners just a small taste now, without divulging any of the state secrets, so to speak.
I'm crushing to the Kazi for the Bruisey and the Carnish, and I'm piping the sham on the right hammer here at the minute. That would basically mean I'm going to head to the house in a few minutes for the mashed spuds and the meat, and I'm watching what's going on my left-hand side here by the other fella. So, you know,
that's brilliant.
Yeah, we have all of that stuff sort of going on, and it's, you know, every few years we have a thing. It's called the Covey Convention, where the older generations that have been away for years come home, and we do little bits of entertainment on the street, where we'd have poetry and songs and the history of the streets. We choose a different area every year, and it gets the older people out on the streets as well, you know, which is great to hear, because it gives us that sense of community that, as we were saying earlier, Paul, seems to die out in other places. We seem to hold on to it here, and we're very proud of it, you know. We're very proud of our town.
Paddy, you have a poem there as well. Fire ahead now.
I have a poem, as I was mentioned there to you earlier, the Covey cant. It's a lingo that we use around Westport here, the locals, you know, and we have certain words for certain things. But this is a poem that was written while I was away, and you know, it kind of smacks of a bit of homesickness, I guess, you know, the old sentimentality snuck into it, and you know, it's a poem. It's my bread and butter poem. I'm particularly proud of it. You know, people are always asking me for it, and it's called the Covey cant. So, come all ye of old Covey stock, and lend to me an ear, and I'll chant the praise of this old town that we all hold so dear. Where fair Clew Bay fills up the quay, by the sloping curve of Garvlon, you should see the setting sun go down from the hills around our hometown. For this it is a noble spot where tall ships hoisted sail, a favourite haunt in olden times of the sea queen Granuaile, the birthing place of John McBride, a Covey through and through, who gave his life so we'd be free, with the brave and gallant few. You can sit beside the Carabeg, and park and take things slow, and watch it coursing down the Mall, upon its seaward flow, while up and down the well-lapped streets, great characters abound. You can feel the pulse of this old spot, its sights, its smells, its sounds. So join me as I raise a glass, in proud salute to you. God bless the town, the hills surround, Carna Martha Boo.
So pack your bags and come with me, and it's back there we will go, to our little homes in Westport, in the county of Mayo. Croagh Patrick high up in the sky, this year I'd like to climb. Around Clew Bay I'd love to stray, in the good old summertime. And when I think of all these things, and the friends I used to know, it's then I long for Westport, in the county of Mayo.
And that was the celebrated balladeer Mick Lavelle singing in Matt Molloy's pub in Westport town about the town which he loves so well. Here's what else I heard that night in Matt Molloy's.
I'm talking with the men here who were making that gorgeous magical music. I mean, the angels couldn't do better now from heaven. You know, who am I talking to first of all?
My name's Peter Molloy.
John Kilkenny is my name.
Great. Now, man, what was that piece you were playing there?
We called it the Skylark set. Yeah. So the middle reel was called the Skylark, and the last reel was called Roaring Mary. And what was the first one, John?
Swinging on the Gate is the name of the first one. But
God, there's great lyricism to it, there's no doubt about it. And I mean, when you're playing in the session here now, I mean, how do you decide, you know, is it just off the cuff or what? I mean, what makes you play what kind of music or what?
Well, we've been playing together for a good few years, so we'd have the same sets of tunes and stuff like that, you know, so we'd have a fair idea.
It's some of the same, you know. I haven't played with Peter. We used to play together a long time ago, but like you do recall, you associate tunes with people, and then you have sets that go together as well, you know. So
it's kind of a real instinctive thing, you know. I mean, it's not something you can learn from a book. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that would be correct. Yeah, that would be the best way of putting it. Yeah.
What is it that makes, you know, that makes people like yourself love traditional music so much, Irish traditional music? What is it about the music?
I suppose the first challenge could be your instrument, you know, but once you get over that, it's tunes. It's the desire to participate, you know. You don't want to be there sitting and not playing, you know. You want to be joining in. So the hunger comes from tunes, and you get tunes through people. You know, we all have different tunes, and everybody has something to offer. That's my story anyway. So I'm sure people.
And John, how did you pick up like the music yourself? Was it passed down from your family or what?
There was no music in my my parents, but my grandmother has played, my uncle played. But I think that's where the love came from. My mother knew there was a link there, so I would have gone to lessons, you know. But at the moment, you know, you pick it up by ear now. Stick at it long enough.
Good man, well, you certainly have the gift, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you're able to make that fiddle sing, there's no doubt about it. And
you know what they're saying, if you keep throwing muck at the wall long enough, it's bound to stick. So
absolutely. But that doesn't sound like muck to me, that was music, that's absolutely. And Peter, yourself, I mean, what is it about the passion for the music for yourself?
Well, I guess I was lucky enough to be brought up with it, you know. There was always music in the house, and my dad was always practicing, and so I kind of grew up with it. And here in the pub, of course, we're lucky enough to have music 7 nights a week with mighty musicians like John and stuff passing through. So you get to be, you know, part of it that way.
It's quite literally in the blood.
I guess it would be. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, what's the next piece we're going to be hearing now?
Well, we don't know yet.
You better hurry up. The listeners are waiting.
I just add something to that, like, you know, music is in the veins, but you need the opportunity to play, and this is a very unique pub in that there's music, as Peter said, 7 nights a week here, you know, so we're very lucky, and sometimes we, I suppose we don't boast enough about it, you know, that there is plenty of music in Mayo.
Absolutely. I mean, what amazed me, I was just talking with people earlier on before you came in, man, and I mean, they were from, I think it was Argentina or whatever. I mean, there's people from all necks of the world, you know, coming here. I mean, what is it about Irish traditional music? I mean, literally they're coming from all over to hear, you know, to join in the fun of the session.
It's the spontaneity, I think. They see what you see. I have a sneaking suspicion that you play, but anyway.
God, I'll tell you, you don't know me. I can't. I certainly cannot, but anyway.
You can tell us on the next tune.
Oh God, right. And pigs will fly. Look at men, I'll let you fire ahead there. Gorv Mila Mahakut August Ganari and Bohor live.
You're very welcome, thank you.
And so we near the end of our final programme of On Your Bike. Over the course of the 13 programmes in this series, we've cycled the principal coastal routes from Dingle Bay to Clew Bay, visiting many magical places such as Schley Head, the Cliffs of Moher, Connemara National Park and Croagh Patrick, to name but a few. However, there are dozens of wonderful towns and villages which we did not see. Hundreds of magic mountains and lakes we did not encounter. Thousands of tempting cycle tracks through bogs, valleys, vales and over mountains which we did not journey upon. Yes, there's so much more to tell, for Ireland's western seaboard is teeming with plenty. So get on your bike and get cycling. Don't be afraid to get out there and smell life.
Ireland is beautiful.
The Emerald Isle, and you think it really is an Emerald Isle.
It's just beautiful, the mountains, there's great walks.
Everything's green, everything's so hilly, and it's so impressive, and I love it the most.
You got to see it, you got to be here. Pictures just don't do this place justice, and that's why I encourage people to come out here.
The countryside's absolutely stunning.
You know, it's beautiful country, and everyone should get out on bikes. You know, except there's a heck of a lot of uphills, you know, which can be a bit problematic.
With pedals turning, the miles are burning, revealing landscapes so awe-inspiring. From the crashing ocean to the mountains climbing, Ireland is there for you and me. From Mount Escall to Inishowen, from Dalkey Island to Inishbofin, from Carrontool to Lugnaquilla, Ireland is there to ramble free. We'll climb the mountains, swim the rivers, surf the high tide up near Bundoran, set our mainsail towards the Shannon, or see the hookers race off Spittle Shore. On Blasket Island we'll walk the white strand and see where Peg drew her inspiration. Near Ennis Diamond we'll stand on high rocks, those proud and majestic cliffs of Moher. We'll climb the steps of Skellig Michael, gaze with wonder as dolphins play, where holy true men knelt in obedience to feel the wind as prayers were said each day. From holy places to friendly faces, with glasses clinking and ballads singing, the prayers are rhyming with church bells chiming. Ireland is here for you and me. A kindly greeting from old friends meeting, for life is fleeting neath this Irish sky. Hear the fiddle playing with the old ones saying, bless the shamrock as our days pass by. Here's to the farmers, here's to the boatmen, casting their fine nets on a clear blue ocean. We'll climb Croagh Patrick and make our penance. With joyous happy pilgrims we'll descend. We'll cycle boreens, cycle highways, meet friendly kind folk down every byway, to tell us stories of their own lives, living in the beauty of this country. Island of grandeur, at every sunrise, island of splendor, at every moonrise, with herons waiting and gannets diving, salmon leaping, wild deer thriving. The door is open to friend or stranger, 100,000 welcomes you will find. Yes, the door is open to friend or stranger, 100,000 welcomes you will find. Island of grandeur at every sunrise, island of splendor at every moonrise, with herons waiting and gannets diving, salmon leaping and wild deer thriving. The door is open to friend or stranger, 100,000 welcomes you will find. Yes, the door is open to friend or stranger, 100,000 welcomes you will find.